In this video, I attempted to create a stag painting. This is the first time I've attempted a stag painting like this before. So right now I'm putting together my pencil drawing onto the board. The board has already been prepared. I'm not using a traditional easel here. This is a draftsman board. And you'll notice I adjusted it slightly so it could hold the size of the wood. The wood's quite heavy, so see here? This was the ruler that attached to the draftsman board, and I just placed it on the bottom so it could act as a holding platform for the wood. The stage I'm at right now, I'm not happy with the deer antlers, so I'm about to change them up, and I'm just looking at where I could possibly go to make them a little bit more appealing, because it's quite a majestic stag. After all, he's the king of the forest, so to speak. Right now I'm just going back over the antlers with a pencil, just drawing those in. It slightly changes from the picture, and in fact the whole deer, the deer's head, nose, eyes and antlers do change from the original concept sketch. I'm just getting ready to paint now. This is board with a piece of lamination on the top where I'm going to place and use my palette. Some paint brushes, I have my favourite brushes in here. So let's go paint. Check out the orb that runs across the bottom of the screen. There you go, did you see it? Well, I never noticed that orb when I was painting, but I noticed it runs around the back and shoots through the middle of the wood, and you'll see that in the bottom left of the screen. I've slowed this section down for you so you can see it. So just keep looking at the bottom left near the deer's tail, and you'll see the slow motion just there. So tell me what you think about orbs in the comments section below. It's just ironic that in this next clip I decided to paint a white light and I wanted this to be transparent through the trees and to depict the light that's coming through from the sun, but it just looks like I'm painting an orb. It's just a bit crazy. So tell me what you think in the comments section below, whether you believe in orbs or not, whether you believe this painting was actually guided. So what I'm doing here, I'm using some watered down white paint. I wanted to get a bit of a glaze effect, and eventually I'm going to paint more trees over the top of this. It's all going to change. It looks extremely rough right now. That's how every painting looks at the beginning. So I'm just expanding on, okay, where's the light going to go, where's it going to come from, and trying to figure it all out in my mind, because I don't have any reference pictures for this. This is just coming out of my head right now, a background that is. The video will speed up again soon. I'll do a bit of a time lapse in the boring parts. I just wanted to show the process here in real time, so you can actually see these things do take time. It took quite a few hours for me to actually finish this painting. Trust me, the video does get better. It's just taken a little while for this section, but I wanted to keep it in so I could show some of my students how to create light in the background. Some of you might actually paint this differently to me, but that's okay as long as you get the same effect. Or a similar effect in the end. Now that I'm recording my voiceover, I'm realizing this is actually really boring. It could be quite technical for some people. Yeah, so I think we might, there was an orb again, and we might have to speed this up. I'm getting distracted by all these orbs. And another one, there you go. I hope there isn't a delay with this recording voiceover compared to the video. There's a bit of a lag at the moment. So, just to give you an idea of how long it took for me to create this painting at this stage. It was muddled. It's so hard speaking into a microphone and watching the film as you're editing, because I'm ad-libbing everything. It's just coming out as I see it. Anyway, it took 5 hours to do the background, and another 5 hours the next day. But altogether, I'd say this took between 30 and 40 hours, give or take. So, and then I stand back, look at it, come away, and then start changing things up again. So you can see I'm using a fan brush for the grass. That's how I created the background for some of the trees and the grass. It comes in really handy. And you'll notice here how the light is just starting to appear through the trees. Like I said, it's going to swap up soon, but this is the final product of the first day. So to get to this stage took me 5 hours, I would say. So now I'm starting to focus on the deer, blocking in the antlers. This is basically called applying an undercolour. So you're getting all the shading, shadow, mark out all the areas where you think the light is and the dark is. And as I said before, this is real basic stuff at the moment, and it's meant to look pretty rough. So you'll notice I'm starting to apply another layer. So I'm basically going steady with this because this is the first animal that I've actually painted apart from a bird. So I'm trying to get everything in where I think it needs to go and getting gradually darker. So the brush I'm using here is called a filbert brush. It's one of my favourite brushes. It's really good. This is basically a dry brush technique. I hardly have any paint on my brush. I'm just painting a few light areas in the antlers. So I'm still applying the first layers on the face of the stag, and there's my reference picture. It's just something I pulled off the internet that I liked the look of, but you'll notice that as we move through already, the face and the nose and the eyes and the antlers are all going to change. So it's not going to look exactly like the picture, because I wasn't quite happy with it. I thought my version looked like a bull, and you'll see that as we move closer towards the end. So you'll notice the face is a bit skew-iff, the eye and the ear, and I've changed position here just for the light. And you'll notice, actually you can't see it very well, but I will zoom in, and you'll notice that the eyes and everything is changed up again as I'm moving through this. It's my palette now that I've been working for a while. Look at that, I'm not happy with it at all. I don't even know why I'm bothering at this stage. You do tend to doubt yourself as you move through your paintings. You know, you get to certain areas and certain points and you think, what am I doing? Like, this all swaps up again towards the end. But I think you've just got to keep going. And that looks really scary. I mean, especially the eyes. The eyes are all wrong. And at that time, I thought I actually did quite a good job. But you've got to walk away from your painting. And then you've got to come back. And then you'll see exactly what you need to change. As when you have a bit of time away. In my toolkit, in my artist toolkit, I have a few brushes that I like to use. Some of them are expensive, some of them are not. And the one that I'm using here, it's like a pack of, I think it was 20 or 10 brushes from Wish for about $3. At the time I was looking for a number 1 brush, and I think this is a 0. So for those of you who don't know anything about your brushes, your numbers are allocated on the brush itself, and it depicts the thickness of the hairs at the end of the brush. So a 0 is a very fine brush. I really hate the way the face is on this at the moment. The eyes are all wrong, the nose is all wrong, everything that I'm doing right now is all wrong. And I wanted to keep this in the video to show you the process on how many times it actually changes. The eyes are pretty damn scary. They follow me around the room. So I wasn't having any of that, and I swapped it all up again. So here I'm just trying to add a bit of light on the end of the nose because I couldn't quite figure out what was wrong. I don't even know why I'm bothering with this section right now because I completely blocked it all out as I work towards the end. Like I said, it looks a little bit like a morphed bull at the moment. So here I am, swapping it all up again. Where I went wrong with this first face was trying to copy the reference photo. And yeah, it didn't work out. The eyes are in the wrong position. And like I say, it's the first time I've painted an animal of this size. I wanted to challenge myself, and I think that's what I did with this painting. Went through a lot of different scenarios to get what I wanted. And this is just a close-up of using the fan brush to add in some highlights. Tapping that I'm doing with the fan brush here is just to demonstrate how I created the grass. So here I'm blocking out the eye and I guess trying to readjust it. I wanted the face to look a bit more feminine, even though it's a stag. My idea of a deer is a lot more delicate and feminine compared to what I had there. So I've made the eyes a bit bigger, I've slanted them a little bit more. I'm on the side, I'm going backwards and forwards because it still didn't sit right. Trying so hard with this at the moment. Like I say, I'm challenging myself. It's the first time I've made one of these. It was pretty scary blocking out the eyes that I'd already painted because you always doubt yourself as to whether or not you can recreate the eyes or whether or not you're going to ruin your whole painting. This is a stage where I'm not looking at the reference picture anymore. I've decided to move away from that. I've decided the eyes need to look a little bit more whimsical, and I always head towards, recreating something that's not quite real. Feels like it adds a little bit of magic to the painting. Here you'll see me just adding some more grass, working on some orbs. I decided to put these orbs in after I had a look and started editing some of the footage that I wanted to keep. That's when I noticed the orbs in the painting earlier on, and I thought, okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit more magical. I'm going to add some butterflies, I'm going to put some orbs in the painting, and it's going to be a mystical, beautiful painting. So I'm just adding some background orbs. You can call them fireflies if you want to, I don't mind. So the process here is just to water down some of the paint. When I say water, I don't mean necessarily with water. You can use an artist's medium. That's what it's for. It's to extend the paint so it goes further. Some paints are quite expensive, but the ones I'm using here are not that expensive. Just like the colours. that I'm working with, and so I just stuck with the same. So it's nearly finished. I think these are the final details. And even though the stag doesn't look exactly the same as the picture, I think I prefer this version. Got to the point where I decided the painting was finished, and here I'm trying to get a focus on the signature, but it didn't quite work out with my camera. So the last thing you do is sign your artwork. I've decided to put the date on this painting. So it's 2022, of course, and the date here is the 11th of March. This was started a few weeks ago. There you go, it's finally coming to focus. Oh, and of course you have to varnish your painting at the end. I chose a satin varnish, and this is the final version. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you for checking in.